You're starting and you don't have any money, but you want to get into real estate. That's really who I'm talking to today. Today, we're going to talk about how to hunt for real estate deals. And I've been thinking about more about like how would I get into the business now if I was starting over completely from scratch. And you'll start to see some of that content come out with how to do deals like from if you're just getting started. And so I'm going to start off with a few things you need to understand before you go looking for a real estate deal. Okay. Number one, okay, what a deal is different to different people. Okay. What a deal is a different to different people. If you have cash sitting in the bank or you have a tax problem, okay, a deal to you might just be buying a real estate deal that pays for itself. Okay. You might just put a down payment down and you might buy that property and just wait 10 years and see what happens in the market, right? Buying that property is going to help you not pay as much in taxes. It's going to help you have some income coming in that's tax sheltered, but it's also going to just get your feet wet in investing, right? Letting real estate work for you. Real estate works for you in several ways, but our favorite way is right appreciation, right? It goes up in value over time generally. It goes up in value over time. Okay. You're also going to benefit if you're renting the property out from having a tenant pay for you. You're going to benefit a lot from appreciation. You're going to benefit from the debt pay down. You're going to benefit from also cash flow, right? If you buy the property right, you'll be able to have some income coming in on a monthly basis. Okay. This is a great thing. Don't forget that you'll also benefit from some of the tax depreciation that happens. The government actually allows you to write off some of the income that you make on your rental property so you don't have to pay as much in tax. Okay. So it's just a lot of ways that we benefit from investing in real estate. If you are starting and you don't have money, however, which is the case for, I'm going to say 90% of the people that I talk to, okay, you're starting and you don't have any money, but you want to get into real estate. That's really who I'm talking to today. But I'm talking to the people who want to get started and maybe they're not starting with a ton of money and they want to figure out how to hunt more deals. Okay, that's who we're talking to. Okay, so I'm assuming that you don't have a huge checking account with a bunch of money in it and that you don't have a tax problem yet. Okay, all right, that's who I'm talking to. If that's where you're at, okay, the next thing you have to figure out before you go hunting for anything is what you're hunting for. Okay, anybody ever went hunting? If you don't know what you're hunting for, all kinds of things are going to cross your path while you're hunting. Okay. So if you know you're going to hunt for a deer and you're looking for a buck, a 17-point buck, you go hunting for this deer, you know that you're looking for a deer. So when you see the squirrel pass, what do you do? When you
That's
see
it.
the rabbit, what do? You ignore those things because those things are not what you're looking for. Okay. So we're hunting for real estate deals. We need to know what we're looking for. And if I was getting started from scratch, if I was getting started all the way over again, okay, you need to know what you're looking for. Okay. There are a few things that you can do to figure this out. Number one, you can find somebody who already has experience and ask them what they're looking for. But you can go with another investor and ask them what they're looking for. Find another investor that's actively doing deals and ask them what they're looking for. Okay. That's going to give you the best way to know what you're hunting for. Okay. These days, John Crutchfield is looking, it needs to be free. The property needs to be free. Okay. When I say it needs to be free, it means it needs to be such a good deal that is screaming my name, right? Good deal means I can get the White House for $1. I'm all in. Okay. If I can get the personal home that I live in right now for 50% off, right? I know that is a deal. Okay. John Crutchfield is looking for that. John Crutchfield looks for low down payments, right? If it's going to be some type of creative financing, I'm looking for something with low or no down payments, right? Where I'm helping somebody get out of a mortgage, but I'm not having to come out of pocket with a lot. Okay. John Crutchfield is looking for cash flow. So I'm looking for something that month after month, it brings in more money than it costs to hold that asset. So if you go hunting with another investor, they will tell you what you're looking for. And I will tell y'all this, there's a lot of investors that are not looking for home runs. There are some investors who just want to buy in a certain zip code or in a certain area, in a certain neighborhood. There are some investors who just want to have $20,000 in equity. They don't need the $80,000 in equity that John Crutchfield needs. First part of this, if you're going hunting, go hunting with somebody. If you're with an investor that's new, or maybe somebody that has to do a lot of volume, somebody that has to do a lot of deals all the time, they may have less criteria. Find somebody like that's somebody great to go hunting with as well. They're going to want to do more deals. Okay. I've had those stages of my business where we're buying 4, 5, 6 houses in a week. That's a great person to attach yourself to. And if you find them and ask them what they're hunting for, that's going to put you so far ahead of just trying to like look for somebody selling you a property at 20%, 70% minus ARV, minus repairs, minus the wholesale fee. That still works. It absolutely still works. But what if you have a buyer in your area that's looking for a land lot, or that's looking for a mobile home, or looking for a mobile home park, and all you have to do is find out what they're looking for and go look for that? This is how you get started hunting if you're just getting started. Go with somebody. Okay? Go with somebody. If you find the wrong person, to go hunting with somebody else. Hey, if you go hunting with somebody and they never catching nothing, I like fishing, so that's why I said catching. But if you go hunting with somebody and they never come back with anything, maybe you should go with somebody else. Find somebody that's doing deals. Go look in the deed records. Find somebody that's actually doing deals. They actually are buying stuff. A lot of people talking about buying stuff, but they're not buying stuff. Okay. A great thing to do is find groups like this and just ask, what's the last deal you did? Do you mind giving me the address? Do you mind giving me the numbers? Why did you do the deal and how did you make money? There's tons of groups like this all over social media, on Facebook. There's local groups that you can find, but find people that are hunting and find out what they killed last. That was my next point. What did they kill last? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to find out what's working. I'm going to ask him, how did you find it? How did you find it? Like, I want to know exactly how you found it. If somebody's not willing to tell you how they found it, they probably didn't do it. Most investors are very open. They're willing to share. This is how you hunt. Okay. Number one, figure out what you're hunting. Go with somebody that's hunting. Okay. Number two, figure out what they killed last, because that's what's working right now. Okay. The market right now is different than it was 5 years ago. So you need to figure out what's working right now. Okay. So if I told you right now what's working, and I think most investors would agree with this, right now, what's working is to find a homeowner or a investor that wants to move out of their property, but they can't sell it. That's what's working right now. If you got your property in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe 10 years, okay, and you saw the property values go up in 2021, 2020, you saw your house was worth 400K, okay? You saw it on Zillow, you heard your neighbor sold their property for 400,000 on. You know what? Right now, if you list your property for 400,000, you're going to sit there and you're going to look with your hands tied. That's what's happening right now. Okay? So they got their hands tied. They can't sell their property. They don't want to sell it to some investor who offers them 70% of the ARV minus repairs. Okay? So now they got to figure out what they're going to do next. If you're hunting, then you're probably going to run across you're probably going to run across somebody in this situation. And your offer to them is simple: I will take over the payments. You don't have to worry about making any more payments. But I'm also going to make sure that you get a little bit of cash in your pocket to walk away. Okay. That's working right now. Okay. Now, the more money you give down, okay, the more risky the strategy. Yes, there's tons of risk to subject tos. There's all kind of paperwork issues. So you might find somebody who has a 3.5 or 4.5% mortgage, which we can't get today. Okay. You might find somebody that has that type of mortgage, but they want to move and they can't sell their property. Those are deals that are still working. I'm looking for distress. Y'all know what two types of distress there are? There is property distress and property owner distress. There is property distress and there's property owner distress. So what we're looking for is something wrong with the property, or we're looking for something wrong with the property owner. Okay, those are the two things that we generally look for. All right, so right now, one of the things that I can do quickly to make this easy, if I'm hunting, okay, is I would just use the sorting features on Zillow. Zillow has some cool stuff you can do. You can choose home type, take out the townhomes. That's not really going to help you. Take out condos. You can leave lots if you want, or you can take land out. Land still works. In a place like Fort Worth, they build in houses everywhere. But we're going to take out like manufactured homes, apartments, and land just for the purposes of today. We're going to click apply. All right, then we're going to choose owner posted listings. We don't want any agent listings. We don't really want new construction, but you still can find deals in new construction. This is for my investor that can think long term. Do y'all think those properties are going to go back up to be worth 600,000? Absolutely they are. But right now, the owner or the builder can't just sit here and wait on a buyer. They're having to come down on their price. And the person who buys that property is going to make $100,000 in 5 years, 10 years. Right. So if you can think long term, there's opportunities even with new construction right now. You help a builder get out of their situation, you invest, and then 5, 10 years, you can make that profit. But we're gonna undo all the foreclosures and auctions, and we're just gonna look for owner posted listings. These are properties that the owner is trying to sell directly. Okay, this is how we go hunting. Hope y'all can see my screen. Okay, so we're hunting now. So now what I'm looking for is property distress or property owner distress. This one right here, the 3-bedroom, 1 bath, it looks like it needs some work. Okay, that would be property distress. If I'm seeing it hasn't been painted recently, if I'm seeing the yard isn't really taken care of, if I'm seeing that it was built in 1918, which I run from old properties nowadays, but if it was built in 1918, it's going to have some property distress. It's going to be something wrong. It's a 100-year-old property. Okay. This one says this is a great opportunity to take advantage of an area where it's being redeveloped by the hospital. Okay, so this person is doing some kind of marketing. It's only been on the market for 7 days. But look what we have here. You have a property owner's number, right? If I was hunting, I would call this property owner. Now, when I call him, I'm listening for seller distress. That's what I'm listening for. Okay. I'm listening for if he has a problem, or I'm listening for if the property has a problem. I already know the property has a problem because it's 100 years old. We know the property has a problem. Okay. Let's just see what happens.
Mid-South Real Estate, Joseph Lehman. How may I help you?
Joseph Lehman. I'm John Crutchfield. How are you?
Getting better all the time. I hope you are too.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm out here hunting, and I see that you've got property over here by the hospital that you've got listed up for sale. It's at Galveston Avenue in Fort Worth.
Right.
I'm in Mansfield. Is this a deal? Is this a deal another investor can make some money on?
Depends on what you want to do.
I like buying fixer uppers and flipping them to homeowners, and I do a little bit of.
This is probably not the deal for you.
Okay, what else you got that might work for me?
I don't.
Okay, so tell me who this deal.
This is a situation where you're in a historic. I mean, you're not historic district. I'm sorry. You're in a area that Everything over there is becoming townhomes, and you've got a single family home sitting there. All the lots around it are becoming townhomes.
Yeah,
It's right at the front door of John Peter Smith Hospital.
I see exactly where it is. So is this more, you think it'll tear down, rebuild?
I think that's the way you should look at it, but if you can make it work as a single family home, that's fine, but it's just that all that matters is the number at the end of the day.
Yeah, is this
How
one?
much you can get for the property based on whatever your perceived value for the property is, based on whatever use you think is the best use for it.
Yes, sir. Is this one you own here, or is this something you're selling for somebody else?
I'm the property manager. I'm not a real estate agent.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Let me do a little bit of research and I'll get back in touch with you if that's all right.
That's fine.
All right. Thanks. So, did we hear property distress? He wasn't the property owner, he was still a decision maker. You make the call because you're hunting. So, there's a couple of things that I heard on the call. Okay. Number one, I heard that there's other development going on in the area. He talks about other townhomes going up in the area. So I find out information about the market. I also immediately noticed, based on how he answered the phone, I noticed that he was going to be a sophisticated seller. This is somebody who's not like mom and pop selling their house because mom died or cousin died or something like that. This guy does real estate deals for a living. So when I hear that, well, why don't we get on his side and say, how could I make money? You want to sell the property, how could I make money? And then you get him to give you ideas for how you can make money on this property. We know the property is distressed. There's absolutely property distress because it's 100 years old and he basically said you should tear it down. But he didn't show really any distress in his person. Okay. And it's only been on the market for 7 days. So we're going to keep hunting on this one. We still might call him back and just really figure out what's the bottom line. Let's figure out what the number is. So if the number is lower than 150, or if the number makes sense to another one of our buyers, it still might make sense to put this under contract. He did say historic, and historic has a lot of issues. If you're working in these historical areas, they're going to be trying to preserve it. They're going to make you go back with certain materials, certain building codes, restrictions. And so these are all things you need to consider in your price. That could it really help you with your eventual value of the property. But if you're trying to flip or you're trying to wholesale, renovations, I would be careful with anything in a historical area for sure. I'm getting started how to hunt for more deals. I'm out here on Zillow and I'm hunting. I'm hunting because I'm looking for opportunity. This is one of the easier ways to hunt right now. You go out here, you're looking for property owner, you're looking for property owner problems. Here's another one. This one says owner financing available. It's a 3 bedroom, 1 bath house, perfect for families. This looks like it's been on the market for 88 days. I don't like that the Zestimate is 161 and they've got it listed out here for 230. I don't like that. It's a very small house. Y'all see this? 1,000 square feet. So it's very small and the price is high. I'm looking for, is this thing renovated? Can I see any photos? This is also not a very good listing. So if you're going to list your properties like this, you probably need to hire a realtor, right? Because who's going to buy based on this listing? Sometimes it's good to call these people, y'all, because obviously this is not a realtor. This is not somebody who sells properties every day for a living who listed this. Because if I see the Zestimate is 161 and you got it listed for 230, like I'm liable to just walk away and not even call you. Okay. But we're hunting. So we're gonna call them. When I do see something listed owner financing, I will say usually when I see something listed owner financing, usually that's going to be a more sophisticated investor, right? It usually is somebody they know the business. 20% down automatically on this means you're going to be out of pocket 46,000 cash. So that's something that you just think about if you're hunting and you know what your criteria are. Like this one automatically doesn't meet my criteria, but I still call because you don't get any of the deals that you don't actually shoot for. So we're gonna call and see what happens. Hey Derek, this is John Crutchfield. How are you doing?
All right, how about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm looking at this house you got listed in, it looks like in Fort Worth on Marion. Do you still have that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it completely redone?
No, it's not. Are you an investor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it probably won't work for you. I ain't gonna be able to give you the price you want, buddy.
Man, you know what I'm looking for. I like deals. What else you got?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really sell deals to investors. I am an investor. We buy and flip.
How's the market going for you right now? That's what I do too.
Doing pretty good.
Finding things every now and then.
Yes, sir.
What's
Yes, sir. Are
the
you a wholesaler?
I flip too. Mostly I have a bunch of rental properties, but I flip and I wholesale. It just depends on the deal. It sounds like we do
Okay.
something similar.
Yeah, yeah. If you ever get anything in the Dallas Fort Worth area, hey, shoot it over to my phone.
Well, Jerome Campbell over there in Fort Worth
Nah, I don't know him.
do a lot of deals over there too. I'm gonna send you a text message after we get off the phone, just see if it's anything else we can help each other with.
All right, cool.
Hey, thanks. Do y'all see how this works? Right? You call him, he answers the phone. You look for property owner distress. You look for property distress, and then you look to make a connection. Right? This is somebody who does deals. He knows it isn't going to work for me. Okay, we just got two no's basically on the phone. So that happens to us too. Like we get a bunch of no's. Also, when you think about this particular guy, like this is if he's doing really well in his business right now, maybe this is a good guy to go to lunch with. Maybe this is a good guy to find out what's the last two or three deals that he's done. That's what I'm gonna text him. What's the last two or three deals you've done? What's working for you? Because that's how you hunt. You figure out what other people are doing, figure out if you can make it work. People who say that people don't answer the phone, y'all, we called two people and they both answered the phone. So if you say you can't talk to five sellers a day, like how come these people are answering the phone? If they don't answer the phone, call them again. If they don't answer the phone, text them. Text works too. Email them. If you want to prospect, the opportunities are out here. Okay. So we're hunting, and I'm not going to make any more calls today because I want to leave time for Q&A. But when you're hunting, like this is two properties or two deer or two fish going by, and neither one of those met our criteria. But we're just going to keep hunting. Okay. We're just going to keep looking. And what we do is we keep looking and we look for signs of distress. Here's another one. This one's only been on the market for 3 days. Okay. The Zestimate is 275. They want 325. You could guess and say, this person, it's hard for me not to call these, y'all, by the way. But you could guess that this person is really not motivated because they've got it listed more than Zillow is saying it's worth. But that's the market that we're in right now, y'all. If people don't have to sell, they don't have to sell. You still want to contact them because the more people that know what you do, the more opportunities are going to come back to you. One of these calls that you make today that say they can't work with you might come back to you later and it might work out. So we make the calls anyway. Okay. If you need virtual assistance, this is something that I can help with. So if you don't have time to make these calls, but you have a budget to make these calls, I can help you connect you with virtual assistants. This is something that we're doing now. If you need leads that may be a little bit higher quality than this, okay, and you're willing to invest in that, reach out to me. That's something that we're offering now as well. But when you're hunting, this is what you do. You go looking, okay? Let's say you don't like hunting like where everybody else is hunting. Okay. And I'm using that scenario because that's the title of today, hunting for deals. If you don't like hunting where everybody else is hunting, I thought about this a lot just working with my 90-day challenge group. And so I was thinking about this and I was like, okay, we have a challenge. You have to make 5 seller contacts a day. Okay. You're just talking to 5 sellers every single day. So we have that going on. Then it's hard to get everybody to make 5 calls, y'all. It's hard everybody to talk to 5 sellers on a daily basis. Okay. We just talked to 2 in less than 20 minutes. Okay. But then I said, if people won't make the calls like from their cell phone, this was from my cell phone sitting in the comfort of my office here. Okay. If people won't make those calls, how many people do you think are out there willing to door knock? Even less. How many people do you think are out there willing to beat the streets looking for these deals? How many people you think are still willing to go put bandit signs out that say, looking for a deal, we'll buy your home for cash? How many people you think are still willing to do that if we can't even make phone calls right here? So if you don't want to do what everybody else is doing, just start your process at, okay, what are most people willing to do? And then say, okay, what are less people willing to do? And what are less people willing to do? Okay. And as you make that list, like figure out what you're willing to do and go hunting. Whatever you do, you're going to get better the more consistently that you go hunting for the deal. You're going to get better at these calls the more you make the calls. You're going to get better at text messages the more you text. You're going to get better at the signs the more you put out. Okay, where did my call come from on this sign? You're going to get better at door knocking the more you door knock. These are a few strategies that I hope help you all find more deals. Hunt, because right now, those people that are hunting are probably getting more deals than the people that are just waiting for a deal to come to them right now. Okay. If you're just waiting for somebody to call you, it's slim pickings right now. Okay. But if you're got some VAs that are out there looking, if you're making the calls yourself, if you're door knocking, if you're driving by, if you're telling everybody what you do, if you're posting on social media, if you're going to networking events, there are still opportunities out here. Those are the ways we hunt.